Unveiling the truth, 5 chilling myths that turned out to be real. Welcome, truth seekers and mystery lovers. In a world where lines between fiction and reality blur, some stories are so extraordinary that they challenge everything we thought we knew. Today, we're diving deep into 5 myths that will make you question everything. Tales that seemed like pure fantasy, only to be revealed as bone-chilling reality. Prepare to have your mind blown as we uncover the incredible truths hidden beneath layers of legend and folklore. Story 1. The immortal jellyfish, nature's ultimate cheat code. Imagine a creature that can literally turn back its biological clock, becoming young again after reaching maturity. Sound like science fiction? Meet the Turritopsis dohrnii, nicknamed the immortal jellyfish, a real organism that defies everything we understand about aging and mortality. This tiny, transparent creature, barely the size of your pinky fingernail, possesses an ability that sounds like something from a superhero movie. When faced with environmental stress or physical damage, it can completely revert to its juvenile polyp stage, essentially resetting its entire life cycle. It's like watching a fully grown adult transform back into a child, and then grow up again. Scientists first discovered this extraordinary creature in the 1880s in the Mediterranean, but it wasn't until the 1990s that researchers truly understood its remarkable regenerative capabilities. Dr. Shin Kubota from Kyoto University has been studying these jellyfish for decades, keeping specimens alive in his laboratory for years through this incredible process of transdifferentiation. This isn't just a biological curiosity, it's a potential revolution in our understanding of cellular aging. Imagine the implications for human medicine, a process that could theoretically restart human cells, potentially addressing age-related diseases or even extending human life. While we're far from achieving such a feat, the immortal jellyfish offers a tantalizing glimpse into the mysteries of biological regeneration. What makes this myth even more fascinating is how it challenges our fundamental understanding of life and death. In the natural world of survival and evolution, this jellyfish has essentially discovered a cheat code to existence. When most organisms face inevitable decline, the Turritopsis dohrnii simply presses the reset button. Researchers have found these jellyfish in oceans around the world, from Japan to the Caribbean. They're not rare, they're just incredibly subtle. Most people would swim right past them, unaware that they're witnessing one of nature's most extraordinary magic tricks. The story of the immortal jellyfish reminds us that reality is often more incredible than fiction. What we consider impossible might just be something we haven't yet understood. Story 2. The Lost City of Heraklion, an underwater metropolis rediscovered. For centuries, the city of Heraklion existed only in ancient Greek mythology, a legendary port city mentioned by historians like Herodotus, but believed to be nothing more than a fantastical tale. Scholars long debated its existence, dismissing it as a myth. How wrong they were. In 2000, marine archaeologist Frank Gaudio and his team made a discovery that would rewrite historical records. Using advanced underwater mapping technology, they found the entire city perfectly preserved beneath the Mediterranean waves, just off the coast of Egypt. Heraklion, known to the ancient Egyptians as Thonis, was once a thriving metropolitan center and crucial maritime hub. Massive stone structures, intricate temples, and countless artifacts were found remarkably intact, frozen in time since its submersion around 800 AD. Enormous granite statues, some standing over 16 feet tall, lay elegantly preserved in the seabed. Ceramic vessels, bronze coins, and ritual objects told stories of a sophisticated civilization that had seemingly vanished without a trace. Researchers discovered that the city likely sank due to a combination of natural disasters, earthquakes, and rising sea levels gradually eroding the city's foundations. The most stunning revelation was how advanced this civilization was. Complex canal systems, massive temples dedicated to Ammonius and Hercules, and evidence of international trade painted a picture of a cosmopolitan center far more sophisticated than previously imagined. This wasn't just an archaeological discovery, it was a resurrection of an entire lost world. A myth had become reality, emerging from the depths to tell a story that had been silent for over 1,000 years. Story 3. The Real Dracula, a history more terrifying than fiction. When Bram Stoker wrote Dracula in 1897, many believed he had crafted pure fiction. The truth is far more chilling. The vampire legend has roots in a very real, very brutal historical figure, Vlad the Impaler, also known as Vlad III Dracula. Ruling Wallachia, modern-day Romania, in the 15th century, Vlad was notorious for his extraordinarily cruel methods of executing enemies. His preferred method, impalement, was so terrifying that it became legendary. Thousands of Ottoman soldiers were said to have been killed this way, with Vlad creating entire forests of dying men to terrorize invading armies. Historical records reveal that Vlad was more than just a brutal ruler. He was a complex political strategist. During a time of constant conflict between Christian European kingdoms and the expanding Ottoman Empire, he became known as a defender of Christianity, using psychological warfare to an extent that was unprecedented. One famous story describes how he invited hundreds of noble families to an Easter feast, only to have them arrested and impaled. Another tale suggests he would dine among his dying victims, seemingly unbothered by their suffering. While some of these stories might be exaggerated, historical documents confirm his reputation for extreme brutality. Historians like Romanian scholar Radu Florescu have extensively researched Vlad's life, separating myth from reality. What emerges is a figure more complex and terrifying than any fictional vampire, a real human whose actions were so extreme that they inspired one of literature's most enduring monsters. Story 4. The Underground Cities of Cappadocia, Civilization Beneath the Surface. In the heart of Turkey lies a network of underground cities, so vast and complex that they sound like something from a science fiction novel. Derinkuyu and Kaymakli, massive underground metropolises in Cappadocia, could house thousands of people and were complete with sophisticated ventilation systems, water channels, and multiple levels. These cities weren't just temporary shelters, but fully functional urban centers. Archaeologists estimate they were built around 1200 BCE by the Phrygians and later expanded by early Christian communities seeking refuge from Roman persecution and later Islamic invasions. Imagine an entire city existing hundreds of feet beneath volcanic rock, with rooms for living, storage, worship, and even wineries. The largest discovered underground city, Derinkuyu, could accommodate up to 20,000 people and extended nearly 250 feet underground, featuring massive stone doors that could seal entire sections in case of invasion. Each level served a specific purpose. The uppermost levels contained stables and basic living quarters, while deeper levels housed sophisticated systems for food storage, water collection, and even primitive air conditioning. Massive stone wheels could be rolled to block narrow passages, creating impenetrable defensive positions. Researchers like Nevşehir University's Dr. Gulyaz have been studying these underground marvels, revealing layer after layer of human ingenuity. These weren't just hiding places, they were complete, self-sustaining ecosystems built into the earth itself. Story 5. The Real-Life Sleeping Beauty, a Medical Mystery Unveiled. In 1984, a young woman named Ellen fell into what seemed like a permanent sleep, challenging everything medical science understood about consciousness and recovery. Ellen's condition, a rare form of encephalitis, left her in a state between wakefulness and sleep for 6 years. What makes her story extraordinary is not just her condition, but her miraculous recovery through an experimental treatment involving a Parkinson's disease medication. Dr. Oliver Sacks, the renowned neurologist who documented her case, described her state as a living death, fully aware internally but unable to communicate or move. When the medication was administered, it was like watching a time-lapse of awakening. Slowly, incrementally, Ellen began to regain motor functions and speech. Her story became a landmark in medical understanding of consciousness, suggesting that some seemingly irreversible neurological conditions might have unexpected treatments. It challenged the medical establishment's understanding of brain function and recovery. As we've journeyed through these incredible stories, one thing becomes clear: reality is far more extraordinary than any myth. The line between fiction and truth is often thinner than we imagine, waiting to be uncovered by curious minds and relentless researchers. These tales remind us to always question, always explore, and never dismiss something as impossible. Because sometimes the most unbelievable stories turn out to be true. Until next time, keep seeking the truth.